All right, so I'm April,
And I'm Maria.
and thank you for joining us again this week. So, this week we're talking about spiritual health, and we have a quote here for you. The spiritual journey is the unlearning of fear and the acceptance of love by Marianne Williamson.
All right, so we're going to review a bit. Last slide or last presentation, we did a social health. And so social health is impacted by social media and mental and physical health. Find out what you need from relationships and be realistic about how you are able to show up in relationships.
All right, so spiritual health. So, I think it's important to note that we are not experts in any spirituality. So, I think what I kind of understand about spirituality is also that you're able to kind of make it your own, and it's very personal for each person who's going on their own spiritual journey. Even within religion, even though religion is typically seen as more organized, it's coming from a place of, texts and scriptures that talk about the religion, traditional practices. You can still, within that, kind of make it your own. And so we tend to see, different community gatherings, places of worship, and observe days of worships with religion.
And then on the other side, we have spirituality. So that is very unique to each individual. But the little that I know is that it is unconventional. And so it's also individualistic practices. It can be done independent or in a community, and no particular subscriptions to scripture.
So we can see with spiritual health that there can be an impact if we're not practicing spirituality as we would like to. So some people might start to feel a sense of hopelessness or helplessness. They might also see that their motivation decreases. There might be this feeling of like a lack of self-efficacy and loneliness. And usually, with spirituality, there creates some purpose and meaning. So we might start to feel a little bit of that decrease as well.
All right, so how is it used as treatment for health? So again, I just want to repeat that we are not experts in spirituality, but we do notice that there is a lot of holistic medication. And so for some people, this is very, very helpful. In terms of prayer, so prayer is very common, and that can be helpful for a lot of people's spiritual health.
Yeah, and then there could be different treatments who use spirituality. So, for example, a lot of drug recovery programs are 12-step programs, and they'll actually incorporate, spirituality or religious beliefs in that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also faith-based counseling. So there are people who, again, more related to religion, that will provide mental health services around that religion.
Yeah. There's also meditation, and so meditation is becoming more and more common. There's multiple different ways to meditate, and for people that want to start meditation and need a little bit of guidance, there's Google again is your friend, so you can always Google different types of meditations. There's always guided meditations, so do what feels good for you. There's also chanting, so many spiritual practices include chanting, and so again, if that's a practice that you're interested in, yeah, just Google it and see what draws you in for your spiritual health.
Yeah, definitely. And so nature too. So nature can be a spiritual place for some people, and it can help them really get in touch with that part of themselves. And then there's different exercises that people can view as part of their spiritual journey, which is like yoga, tai chi, and I'm sure there's lots of other ones. I will say again, Google is your friend. So when you do kind of research these different things, also kind of researching the cultural parts of it and really understanding and respecting that culture, I think is a huge part of also the spiritual journey.
All right, so self-care ideas for spiritual health. So what are some other ways we can take care of our spiritual health? podcasts are really hopping these days.
Yeah.
So listening to podcasts and there's so many out there, and just finding whatever topic you're interested in, that can be a good way to take care of your spiritual health.
And then researching faith-based or spiritual counseling in your community, and seeing if there's somebody out there who's more of an expert in that field and who can help guide you in that way.
Learning to meditate. So one really neat and free app we put in quotation marks is Insight Timer, and this one is really neat because there's, again, so many different types of meditations, whether you want a guided or just nature scenery, quiet, there's visuals that have you count your breathing. So there's so many different ways that anybody can meditate.
Yes, and then again, just as we mentioned, if prayer is something that you want to incorporate, you can pray. There's exercising, the holistic medicine. So just practicing that religion in a way that speaks to you. So SMART goals for spiritual health. So again, being very specific. So I'll share one of my goals is that I have been trying to incorporate prayer into my daily routine and figuring out what that looks like for my spiritual journey. So every night I will say that I use Insight Timer. This was an app that was recommended by one of our coworkers, and I've found it invaluable to helping with that goal. So every night I pick a prayer from there and I kind of just listen to it. Is it measurable? Yes, because I do it daily and I just have to do it once before I go to bed. Is it achievable? Yes. Again, it's free, so that's great.
Free is good.
Free is good. And is it realistic? Yeah. I mean, it's once a day. It's important to me, so I've made it part of my daily routine. Is it time limited? Yep. I just have to kind of do it on a daily basis, and it's become a habit for me.
Nice. All right, guys. So thank you again for joining us on Spiritual Health. My name is Maria.
And my name is April, and you can check us out on social media as well. So we are on Facebook and Instagram, and we do weekly tips Monday through Friday for overall wellness.
Thank you.